My name is Jeffrey Molinary. I'm a fellow student of this senior seminar course. My title for this presentation is Finishing Like the Marathons. The reason why for the title is because I've been in college for quite some years, between on and off, job, family, other turns that life had presented to me, and I had taken them. But this week will be my last week for my undergrad, so it feels like it was a marathon. I haven't run a marathon, but if I did run one, it would feel like this. So let's start. The first class I want to talk about is the research methods in social science. This class is pure 100% research and writing about different topics in social science. For the end of the course, I had to choose a topic that I wanted to create a thesis and do some interviews on the streets. So I chose how being a Hispanic for certain areas in Latin America influenced voting. Last year's a lot of people were kind of, well, not last year. I mean, in 2016, a lot of people were kind of blaming the Cubans in Miami because they don't vote Democrat. So a lot of Hispanic were blaming the Cubans for the reason the Republican ones on the national election. So I wanted to, investigate that a little bit more. And it was a great experience doing the project. I had the chance to create a survey form, a consent form, for the people that allow me to interview them and collect the data. So the data that I collected, was in accordance with the textbook for the class, and it was presented in a way where the professor was happy with the results. Social science in statistics, I know a lot of people are not very happy with this class, but for some reason, I was thinking that it would be a bad course because of what people have said. Um, but I actually did enjoy the course, especially, you know, um, collecting, gathering information for the topic that was going to be presented. Um, how to use those data points and collection information to be presented to in a way where you can prove the point that you're trying to make. The picture presented is one of the graph that I had the chance to do using the software SPSS. Um, I did enjoy the class, and actually, um, my professor, she told me that there's a lot of professors that pay students that have experience using the software and accountable presenting data and using the software and presenting it in a way where people can understand what's going on, because a lot of people see numbers and they don't understand what's going on. But if you know how to create the information and present it in a way where everybody can understand it, and a lot of college professors, they actually pay nice money for people to do this kind of job for them. So I did like this class, and it's something that I could actually see myself doing in the future. Next slide. GIS 3390, Fonts of Geographic Information and Analysis. This was my, you know, it was my favorite class on all the required courses for my major. The reason why I'm always been a fan of geography, I don't know why, it's kind of like a weird love that we have. Growing up, I used to go to church and go to the back of the Bibles and just look at the maps of the Bible times. So I kind of like always fall in love in this. In this slide, I had a picture of a map I made on the class about the school system in Birmingham. I had to do a similar one for Montgomery, and the data was provided for us and everything. All we gotta do is like put the data and then present it in a way where you can show what you're trying to show. What I found out with this data is like the schools that are actually failing in Birmingham area, using with the data and the colors and everything, all the whites are basically like inner city and minority, heavily minority populated areas. So the point that was trying to be made with this map was about why uh, neighborhoods and schools inside like heavily minority areas, why they're failing. So all the darker colors are basically area where there's more Caucasians, and those areas are not failing. But then the ones on white and the clear colors are actually, like I say, minority areas. And so basically, all the red dots are schools that are failing in the Birmingham area. So basically, they belong to minority groups. This is social theory, social science and theory. This is a class that I'm actually taking at the moment, and I'll finish this week as well. This class, just like the next one that's coming, they created a lot of thinking for me. I used to kind of like think some type of way about certain things in life, but after reading and learning more about our past, I could see a different future, and I can see things happening today in a different way. I had to write a paper about intersectionality by Mrs. Hill Collins. She's a renowned feminist, and she's black as well. And she argues like a lot of the black people, they don't only face what the struggles that they had to deal with every day, but they also had to deal with how people see them, how because of where you coming from, or or your parents or your past or anything, on one of those areas that we have on the picture, race, education, sexuality, age, gender, any of these things are used to judge your potential or the type of person that you're gonna be. And it's kind of like a double-edged sword where you try to like slice away from some of those stereotypes, but on the other side, those same things are actually kind of defining you in some people's mind. My last class, obviously, senior seminar is the one that we're taking right now. Um, there was a lot of exploration on this course. Obviously, we're doing an undergrad portfolio about everything that we took in our major, kind of summed up on a course. But what I wanted to talk about is about the book Just Mercy. Um, like I would have never read that book if it wasn't for this class, and I'm glad I actually did. I used to I used to believe in the death penalty, but after reading the book, after seeing the video about the TED talk, and when he talked about the German person that he met, and Brian was surprised that Germany did have the death penalty, and how the German explained it to him like with our history, with our past, I don't think the German society would allow anybody to be murdered by the government. And that put me to think like how we in the US, with the history that the country has, where people came from other parts of the world thinking that there was nobody here, but there were actually people here, and how they displaced them, how they basically run them out to like the brink of extinction, their culture and everything. And at the end of the day, they kind of like give them like the worst parts of the country for them to live in. And the history with the other minority group, you know, the blacks, the Latinos, and everybody. And to 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 have, I would say, the gut to just execute people for whatever they feel like. Throughout the discussions, I argue a lot about the fact that if we're gonna have death penalty, I think we need to have similar type of punishment for people who assault somebody and rapists. And I know it's kind of controversial, and Brian's playing on the books, like if like those type of punishment will get a lot of hands dirty. And I don't think people are ready to have all that blood and all that suffering in their hands, because it's not like you can just put some injections on somebody's IVs and then they'll be gone. You will actually be like doing something that you probably won't like. So I'm actually enjoy the book. Like I said, a lot of self exploration in this course. Reading the book, it made me realize lots of things. It's not that that I change who I am, but it made me realize that some of the things that that I was thinking were not right, and it's something that I will take on my future when I start grad school and whatever else is after grad school. So thank you guys for your time.